Hi, my name is Diana Ferris. Today we're going to talk about growth target rosters in the summary. In order to get to that module, click on Analytics, and from there, choose Progress Monitoring. Select Growth Target, and then you can choose between Roster and Summary. We'll start with Roster first. Select your campus, select a grade. You may select Teacher and then Class. If you are a teacher, you can only see your classes. These fields are optional for other users to choose or not to. Click on the year and the tested grade. This will reflect the most recent STAR test. So in this case, we'll see 6th grade STAR assessment. As soon as data is loaded for the next STAR, then you'll be able to see that. Select the course category. I'm going to choose Math, and the assessment types that you want to compare. You can select multiple assessment types and then click on Search. You will see a color-coded legend, Not Met, Approaches, Met, and Mastered, and these are color-coded according to TEA standards. You can create a student group. You can also go to the student profile. You may also click on the eye to get a progress calculation chart, and we'll talk about that as we're talking about students, and download all the information to Excel. As you see students, you will also see demographic information about these students in the column by their name. You'll make note, we also see further demographic information across these columns. The reason being, these are demographics that will count in accountability. Snapshot will provide you information that will tell you if the student will count for your campus in accountability, denoted by a Y. In the next area, you'll see the most recent STAR scores. The next two columns give you the expected and accelerated goal for progress. In any of these columns, you can use the arrow for sorting. As you hover over each column that has an indicator for a test, you will see the name of the test. When you're looking at the student scores for STAR, as you hover over each bubble, you can see this corresponding label, percent correct, scale score, the language the test was given in, and when the test was given. I can click on any of these bubbles to drill down and get further SE information about the student. You can see the student's name, the raw score again, the percent, the different SEs that were tested on the assessment, whether or not they were readiness standards or supporting standards, a description of each SE, how many items for each SE were tested. So for instance, on 6.13a, there were 2 items on the test. The student got one of these items correct for an overall percentage of 50%. When we're back on the roster, let's look at the different columns and explain what these mean. As you hover over each of these assessments, the title of the assessment will appear. You can see this is 9661, 7th grade math unit 1, rational numbers. The next one is A2, A3, and as you can see, as you hover over each one, you can see the different titles. Edugence has calculated a target score based on the TEA rules to calculate progress scores based on the scale score and the percentage students score on these assessments, as long as they're aligned with STAR. So let's look at this student. We'll go over that in detail. The student had a 74% correct on Math STAR, a scale score of 1725. He took the test in English and he took the test in May. In order to make expected progress, he would need a 75% on a local assessment. In order to show accelerated, he would need to make a 90%. On the assessment selected, the student scored a 50%. Therefore, he would contribute 0 points to Index 2A if that local assessment happened to be the STAR test. Let's look at another student with a chart. This student had a scale score of 1594. His expected goal would be a 50. The first assessment, he had a 33, and the second one, he had 42. With a scale score of 1594, that put him in the approaches grade level, as you can see by the chart. On his first assessment, he had a percentage score of 33, which meant he did not meet grade level. He did not meet or exceed his growth expectation, which was 50, so therefore he contributed 0 points. On the next assessment, the student made a 42%. Therefore, he did approach grade level and had a 42. So I'm going to look at approaches and approaches. He did not meet the goal of 50 since his percentage was 42. So he did not meet. Therefore, he would contribute half a point to Index 2A. This would be how you compare the scores with a progress calculation chart. Now we're going to talk about summary. So click on summary. You can keep the same information, but I'm going to change mine to 8th grade. Again, teacher and class are optional. Change my tested grade to grade 8. Going to choose math. And this time we're selecting a specific test. So I'm going to select the 8th grade math unit 1 and click on search. The first thing that you will see is a table of performance. The first column gives you information about prior year performance on STAR compared to the assessment that you chose. So I have did not meet, approaches, meets, and masters, did not meet, approaches, meets, and masters on the assessment. So I can look at each one of these cells and where they intersect. So if I wanted to see students who approached grade level on STAR but did not meet grade level on the assessment, I have one student who met that criteria and contributed 0 points. I can look at approaches on STAR and met grade level on the assessment. There are 27 students contributing 27 points. So this gives you an overall summary of the information about the assessment as it compares to STAR. As I scroll down, I can see those categories and who those students are. You see STAR not met, assessment not met. And I can keep on scrolling to get the different categories. And again, these will be color-coded. Towards the bottom, you will see students who did not take STAR previously and did not meet the standard on the current assessment that you've selected, assessment approaches, assessment masters, but there's no comparison to STAR, so you won't have the progress measure for these students. You'll also want to note there are 10 rows per page. In this case, there are 26 students, so to see the next set of students, you'll just simply click on the arrow to see the next page. The table of names that you see is similar to the ones that you saw on the roster, with the categories of ID, the name, the demographics are included by the name. The demographics that are in the columns are the demographics that will count in accountability. This way, you can also see which students are going to count in different areas of accountability as well. This is also true for the roster page. You'll have the snapshot with a Y if that student is going to count for your campus, and the most recent STAR scores. The expected goal and the accelerated goal, the percent correct on this local assessment, and how these points would contribute for each student. You can create a student group, look at the student profile, again look at the progress calculation measure, or export these students out to Excel. This will give you information on the growth target, the roster, and the summary. Additionally, while you're in this module, you can also compare a variety of assessments. When you're in progress monitoring, go to campus, select a campus. I'm going to choose the elementary school, select the test grade, select the course, and select the test type. So the first one I want to look at is STAR. I need to change my year to 2021. When we get data in for 2022, obviously you'll be able to use that year. Look at the assessments. I want to choose the English, and I want to add that assessment. That will give me one assessment, but if I want to compare additional assessments, I can do that. I'm going to change my year. I'm going to change the test type. This time I'm going to select District Assessment, and I'm going to select the first one. I want to click again on the Add button. You can continue this process, adding more tests as you desire. Click on Search, and you can see the results for both the STAR test and the local assessment. You will get the district numbers, as well as the campus that you've selected, and the demographics. You can see the number of students, the percent approaches, percent meets, percent masters, and you can see those same criteria for the local assessment as well. Again, you can export this out to Excel. If you want to choose different criteria or eliminate this criteria, click on the Clear Assessment. This will allow you to start all over. So under Progress Monitoring, you can look at rosters, growth target, and compare different assessments with a variety of campuses in the district. Thank you for your time.